Hello everybody, so the Pookie is out here, the Power Kai, we'll just call it Pookie for Pookie's sake, and this tower is really fun, and I haven't really used it in a long time, so I decided I'm going to try to bring it on Flooded Valley Chimps here, which is going to be a bit of an interesting play. I know the Pookie itself has gotten a bit of a nerf since the last time I've used it, which was a very long time ago. It's just consistency isn't generally as good. Actually, no, I think the last time I used it was on Bloody Puddles, but besides that, I haven't used it in a very long time. And then also the tier 4 and tier 3 of course have gotten many nerfs, so they're really a lot weaker than they used to be, which makes the save up a little bit more difficult. That's going to be a bit of a thorn later at some point. But anyways, what I'm going here for is I'm getting Geraldo, but I'm not buying Geraldo until round 61, I believe. I'll explain that. Actually, you probably know that if you've seen some of my more recent videos why I'm getting Geraldo so late. But anyways, I have to go for that 010 sniper, which is a very odd choice, but I can't get the tier 2 beast handler up really at that point for round 24, and I also need to get the other stuff up, and on top of that I can't really beat round 33. Actually wait, no, I can get the tier 2 beast handler for 24, but I can't beat 33 in an economical way that will allow me to beat round 40, because the thing is that I need a degree 24 golden eagle for round 40, which is very tight, and with just that 023 sub I don't really have much more money with it. So that's just the only really way I found that would work. This did take a try before, and I kind of learned that the hard way when I got to round 40 without anything to pop the Moab. So with all this I can just barely get a merged everything together degree 24 golden eagle to be able to beat round 40, and yeah, so I'm going to continue on, and as I'm getting Geraldo on round 61, I can't really use his Geraldo items, which puts me in a little bit of pickle on some rounds like 43 and 47. So I can't get Geraldo until round 61, because I need 3 genies in order to beat round 100. Yes, 3 genies. That's kind of expensive. So I need a shop restock on round transition from 99 to 100. So I place 2 genies on 99. That gives me a free 99, which is nice, I guess. And then I'll place 1 more genie on round 100, and that will be able to beat it. It's cheaper than something like a Zeely and all of that, and so on and so forth. So I get that 032 foam. I'm gonna need that for a bunch of rounds, but then here I make a little bit of a mistake. I just kind of give in on round 47 and buy an arcane magistry. At the time this didn't seem like a very bad purchase, because it does cost a little bit of money. I could have gotten away without it. It would have just taken a lot of headache, and I probably also could have done something cheaper, like just a wall of fire, for example, a 120. But this made things very annoying, because now I can't get the Pookie before round 80, which means I have to buy a genie to beat round 80. Actually that was kind of nice, because I probably would have had to anyways for the 79-80 transition, but then that also means that I can't get the Pookie earlier on 81, which means I'm gonna have to use genie on, on 82 I think, or 83, which means I'm gonna have to use another genie on 83. So I have to use 2 genies for the save up to the Pookie, which would have been probably avoidable. I'm not gonna say for 100% on certainty, because I didn't really test it, but maybe that could have been done, and I could have saved a lot of money by trying to skip out or go for something cheaper on that arcane magistry. Other than that, it did help out and make this mid game very easy, which I do appreciate. So I could have gotten more cash spare with that, but that's alright. I'm not too mad about that. I still got a decent amount. We get Geraldo down there finally, so now he's on pace to be able to get round 20 in time, so I can use all 3 of those genies to take out the battle. I could use 4, but I only need 3. And then round 63 was surprisingly easy, and the rest of this mid game all the way up until 79 was chill. I had to use some Geraldo glues here and there. I really tried to keep it to a minimum, but for those cases that I did, just a few random cases, it wasn't that bad. I didn't really spend a whole lot on Geraldo glue. So I'm going to come back in the late game and see how everything's going. Alright, so here's that second genie, and then like 2 Geraldo glues, I think, right here. 83 was really difficult. I tried my best to do it without using the genie, but I just had to. Really, the big issue that forced me to use the genie was that the Moebs would pop into ceramics when they didn't get dropped down yet, and then I get a lot of ceramics leaking, a lot more than I can control, and the Condor on close didn't have the reach to be able to get those leaking ceramics from Moebs that popped on the outside. And you'll also notice that I'm using close targeting a lot. That's because it's just the most efficient with the Pookie or even like a high degree Condor. If you put it on a close targeting and you set up the main tower itself very well, you'll be able to do this AoE around this one specific area, and it just has way more consistency than trailing on first. Because if it starts trailing on anything and you have just the Pookie doing damage, you are absolutely screwed. You are dead there. I did also have to get a Moeb glue. I wasn't expecting to get this purchase, but it was basically necessary, so there's really no reason in getting mad about having to buy that. And then rounds like 94, 98, 97, those are going to be completely free. 95 was a little bit tricky. I just had to use a glue here and there, but I was able to get by this without doing anything, which was really nice, I guess, besides that one glue. But that's just the close targeting and a great spot right next to a bend. It can get so much AoE and just grab completely everything. 96 again was free, 97's free too, 98's also free. This is really nice. It's really nice having all of these rounds being free. And basically after 95, which honestly wasn't that bad, it was just a free ride straight home. Nothing after this would be any challenge to me whatsoever. I actually did have to change up the targeting on 98 here to first from all the way at the top, because it actually did get pierce capped on 98 if I had it on close, which is kind of interesting, but that wasn't any struggle. I just put it up there and let it beat the round. 99 here, I get to use these 2 genies. I just have to move the foam around to be able to decamo these so the genies can actually like pop the insides, but we get all that down just fine. And then the last genie on round 100, and we just barely am able to take it down. These genies, they don't really do as much damage, same with the Pookie itself, but there we go. Down with 58,000 cash barrel, 57.9k. Not bad. I would have liked more, but it's a pretty cool run with a pretty cool tower. So that's all. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!